morning. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to this section on how to become a registered professional accountant RPA or unlock your future. My name is Alejandro. I'm office manager for RPA Canada. I know that many of you want to promptly to check it out this presentation. So today we are going to have Mr. President with us. So for the time being, if you have any questions in Spanish during the session o en español, todas las preguntas en español las pueden realizar también. La idea es, obviamente, la presentación será en inglés y si me tienen algunas preguntas en español las puedo traducir para que Mr. Choudhry las pueda mencionar. Sin más previo aviso, voy a empezar la sesión ahora. Bienvenidos a todos to How to Become a Registered Professional Accountant, RPA. Well, of course, first of all, I'm glad to introduce Zubair Choudhry. He's the president of RPA Canada. Zubair Choudhry is a visionary, a thinker, and a motivator with over 30 years of experience running a public accounting firm in Canada. He brings wealth of knowledge and expertise to his role. In 2019, he was elected as a president of the Society of Professional Canada. And believe me, he changed everything. Upon his election, he pledged to reform and improve the RPA designation, aiming to provide choice, hope for future accountants in Canada and around the world. So let's welcome Zubair Choudhry.
Thank you very much, Alejandro, and good morning to everybody in Colombia and good afternoon in Canada. And I really appreciate all of you for taking time from your busy schedule to come today to participate this very important information session, which we have prepared specifically for Colombian accountants, so they can get the recognition they deserve. And that is something we were going to talk today. And we have a very extensive agenda with full information. And I know that while we are making presentation, you may have many questions, and feel free to ask those questions. You can put that in the chat and ask those questions. And I know Alejandro is here with me. And if there is any difficulty of language, not understanding the terminology or the question and answer, and then he will help us to translate that one to make it clear for everybody. So this is the agenda that we have today. We will be talking about deciding about RPA, to becoming RPA, and the benefit of RPA designation, education requirements, what are the prerequisites for RPA, step to become an RPA, and pathway to RPA designation, and any other question that you may have. So we're going to be talking about that today.
Welcome. Thank you.
So let's go into it. The first slide that you see is just giving you some background about RPA. The RPA designation was started in 1978 in Canada from the Society of Professional Accountants of Canada. So now RPA designation get this title today that RPA is the oldest accounting designation in Canada right now. And it is the designation made in Canada. So that way it's a true Canadian designation that we are talking about today. And just give you a little comparison about accounting profession. I just have this chart here for your information. We will see in Colombia, Canada, and United States of America. So if you look at the total number of professionals, in Colombia, we see there are 300,000 plus minus. The number could be not 100% accurate, but close to 300,000 professional accountants in Colombia. And in Canada, we have 225,000 professional accountants who are designated. And in America, there are 1.4 million designated accountants. So just this number to make it clear, this number does not include those accountants working in the industry or in the profession who do not have a designation. So here we are just talking about the accountants who have a designation. And we will discuss in detail about Colombia because 300,000 accountants in Colombia. And very strangely, we see that one in this chart, that every single one of that is a licensed public accountant. So we call every accountant in Colombia who graduate from the university, and he's licensed as a public accountant. So that's very strange. And then whereas you compare that with Canada, out of 225,000 designated accountant who have a CPA or RPA designation in Canada, out of 225,000 accountant, only 18,000 are the ones who are licensed as a public accountant. So just to clarify, the public accountants are those accountants who can issue the audit report and sign the audit report and perform the audit services for any corporation or any entity. So this is the difference between that. And if you look at United States of America, 1.4 million designated accountant, and out of that 672,000 who are the one licensed who can perform the audit services. So this is why it is very important for Colombia to understand this thing. That's why there is a problem of recognition in Colombia for a Colombian accountant. And then if you look at the last line, the regulation. So how accounting profession is regulated in these three jurisdictions. If you look at Colombia, and there's a accounting profession run by Law 43, which was started in 1990. So imagine that one. Today we are living in 2024. From 1990 to 2024, that law is still fixed there, and it's there that the Colombian accountant follow. And also in Colombia, there's a Colombian gap, which was started from 1993 by the Parliament and the government of Colombia. So that means accounting profession in Colombia is completely controlled, run, and governed by the government. That is one of the things that Colombian accountant and governments need to look into that one. And when you come to the Canada, in Canada you see that accounting designation and profession is self-regulated. So the accountants, the professionals themselves regulate their profession and do all the changes, the guideline establishment, and all the rules and regulations are established by the profession itself. And
let me stop you there, Mr. Choudhry.
Yeah.
So you're saying that in Canada and USA, there are self-regulated bodies.
Exactly.
But the profession regulates itself. So I want to understand a little bit better the comparison against Colombia. So you're saying that in Colombia, it's the government to regulate the profession?
Exactly. The government, the one who regulate the profession and issues laws or their legislation time to time. And it is, I believe, is very, very overdue now to make changes of that law of law number 43. It was established in 1990. And just for your information, the accounting profession just at COVID time in 2020 and from 2024 is rapidly, very fast changing. And that is because of the technology, because of the new guideline, because of new laws, and it's completely day and night. So anybody, myself being experienced accountant from last 40 years, so I can see that change, that from 40 years back till 30 years back, things didn't change much. Everything was standstill, same rules, same debit, same credit, same tax laws. But from 2020 to 2024, things are so rapidly changing, and they're changing like a day, every week, every month. So whatever we know today, by tomorrow, some of those things will be old and not needed tomorrow, because the things are changing so fast. And imagine that one in Colombia, that accountants stand still with that law 43 1990 and the Colombian gap 1993. So that is where Colombia need to reform and make improvements and catch up not only to Colombian standard, but also to international standard. So then Colombian accountant, Colombian businesses, Colombian economy can benefit by catching up to the world in this thing. And that is, this is one of the biggest reason why Colombian's economy is behind.
Well, one of the questions that I have, and I know, Mr. President, you're really proactive in the things that you committed. So have you have any approach with the accounting body, the Junta Central de Contadores, Consejo Técnico, or even with the Colombian Embassy?
Yes, very nice. I had an opportunity to visit Colombia in February this year. And during my visit, I met with Javeriana University. I had a very detailed tour and had opportunity to meeting to the young student pursuing accounting profession. I had opportunity to meet with the alumni of accounting professional from Javeriana University. And I also had opportunity to meet with the Canadian ambassador in Colombia. She was the ambassador Tremblay. She was very supportive for this initiative of bilateral cooperation between Colombia and Canada. That Canadian want to help Colombia. We want to help, RPA want to help Colombia. And then I also had an opportunity meeting with the Central Board of Accountants in Colombia, their officials and board members. And I also had opportunity having discussion with the Technical Council of Public Accounting in Colombia. During my discussion, I could see that there is a desire to change and to reform and to improve. But I personally believe anything when it comes to the government to do, it takes forever, it takes a long time, and it's not easy when the government has to act on it, and legislative process, political process takes time. And that is the difficulty that Colombians are going through. And I know it's difficult in every jurisdiction, but Colombia is a little bit more slower than Canada and America when it comes to make legislative changes. Okay. Yeah, so this is then just to same thing which we talk about, just to give you graphical information. So look at that red circle. These are the total designated accountant in Canada, 225,000, which are CPAs and RPAs. And if you see that yellow strip there, these are the 18,000 who are licensed as a licensed public accountant who can perform the assurance services. So imagine that one. Every accountant doesn't have to be licensed to perform audit and assurance services because industry need accountant. As a matter of fact, the industry standards like this is that for one auditor, you need 10 accountants. So that auditor can check 10 accountants' work, like 10 corporations run by accountants. And then when they finish their year end, one accountant can go to 10 corporations and perform the audit. So we don't need everybody to be the license. And then next slide. Very strange. There's only one yellow circle, and that tells us 300,000 accountants, and they're all public accountants. That is where the problem resides. And also, you are okay if you are in Colombia, you work in Colombia, that's fine. But when you want to compare Colombian accountant and Colombian accounting profession with the world outside the Colombia, then definitely this is one of the biggest problem that Colombian accountants face. When I met there with a Colombian accountant, they are very intelligent, very knowledgeable. They are credible accountant, but what I felt that they need to be incredible. From credible, they need to become incredible with the designation. So they hold and they can work in any country, in anywhere with pride that yes, I am the competent accountant because I have gone through the competency exams and I have a designation to prove that one. So this is something that Colombian accountant we strongly believe they need, and that's the only thing that is stopping them.
I have a question, Mr. President. We'll stop you there. Sorry for stopping there. So when people take the licensed public accountant, what is the requirement to get to that level? Look, I know in Colombia, everyone gets the same license. Exactly. What is the level that you need to, for example, in Canada, to achieve to get a license? Exactly. Public accountant?
You're very good question. You know, when I was there in Colombia, I found out that once a student graduates from a university in accounting degree, And all they have to do is they fill up one application, submit to the government of Colombia responsible ministry, and then they get a card which tells them, no, you are a public accountant. That's it. There's no competency exam. There's no.
And in comparison in Canada, what is the?
And in Canada, how we do in Canada? Okay, so here in Canada, like as you saw, 225,000 CPAs and RPAs in Canada. But for anyone of them to become a licensed public accountant to perform audit and review engagement services, they must have to go through a set of training, which is almost 30 months, 2.5 years of training in the public sector to learn about the auditing experience of working in accounting firms, and also then have to write an extra exam to prove that they are competent to be the licensed public accountant. And after getting that certification, the license, then they can go out and perform the services. And it doesn't end there. So once you have that license to perform the audit as a licensed public accountant, that comes with the heavy responsibility that include that you have to have a continued professional development to update your knowledge as you go forward. So that is necessary for those public accountants to have a continued education. And on top of that, they have to upgrade their education on technology, in laws, and they have to also upgrade, understand the ethics things, what is happening. And on top of that, as a designated accountant, you are part of a community of accountants. So profession is always developed by the professionals. Okay, the people who are not in the profession, they don't know much about the profession, what need to be done and how need to be done. And that's why we cannot rely on the governments. Because governments, yes, we need governments to be there to be a watchdog of that profession, and also to be a supervisory of the profession, to oversight the profession. The professionals are doing right thing, right way, and the government has a responsibility to check on them and then issue them the notification time to time or guidance time to time. And that is the responsibility of the professionals to develop the profession, the guidelines and the rules and regulations of the profession. Because once they are professional, the most important thing is to come with it is the ethics. And ethics has the most important thing is transparency, accountability. So that means when you're governing a profession, your member professional have to have transparency. Whatever they do should be available to everybody in the society, including the government, and they should be accountable of their actions, not only to the public, but also to the government. The government has a vested interest. You want to make sure that things are done ethically and legally and properly, so then country can move forward. That's why it's very important. So this was the comparison. I know this clarify to most of our participants today to understand the difference between Colombia, Canada, and America, and that same rule applies to all around the world. Except few countries with exception. So now let's talk about. Obviously, you will be thinking about RPA. So what are the benefit of becoming RPA designation in Colombia? So I can just highlight some of them. The RPA designation provides you with the necessary skills, knowledge, and capabilities to reach your goals and your aspirations as a professional accountant with the designation. And RPA study program is focused on small to medium-sized businesses. And that's another significantly important point to become an RPA is that RPA designation is the only designation in the world that is specifically focused on small to medium-sized businesses. I can just tell you the Canadian statistics that in Canada, 98% of the businesses run in Canada are small to medium size. Only 2% of the business in Canada who are public corporations or multinational corporations. So imagine, so this designation RPA specifically focused to 98% of small to medium sized businesses. So, and same, I think similar statistical rule apply in Colombia and America as well. I think Colombia also in the same position. Maybe in Colombia, maybe even more small businesses and multinational and the public corporation, maybe even 1%. So it means 99% in Colombia are small to medium-sized businesses, and RPA designation being focused on that you get all the training and tools and knowledge to serve the small to medium-sized businesses. That is the one of
So
the
let me
big
stop you there. So
yeah.
you're saying that pretty much all the education, all the examination
Yes.
that RPA does is focused on small and
Exactly,
They don't take
exactly.
care of what
Exactly. See, this was when we reformed, when I became the president of RPA in 2019. The one thing I listened to the advisor and to the public and the stakeholder was that we need accountants who have a relevant education. And most of the time, colleges, universities teach accountants courses which they will never use in their life. And I think that is because the how the university established their degree program, that you have to have 40 subjects to learn this, that. And that could also be because of some economic reason. The university needs students to be there for longer, pay tuition longer. So then also the time is important. So what we did, we reviewed extensively through the guidance and support from the academic community in Canada and experts. And then we said, let's make it more relevant, cut the crap which we never gonna use. I know myself, I became a chartered accountant from Pakistan 40 years ago.
Oh.
And I'm telling you, at that time when I wrote exam, only 10% was the passing marks.
10%.
Only 10% was the pass grade. So 90% failed.
Oh
so now imagine that one at that time, when I did that chartered accountancy at that time, we were studying crazy. And once I graduated and went to the practical life, 75% of that what I studied was never used even today.
Oh my God.
But I had to pay the tuition, study, and use my brain to learn all that thing and spend my time. I could have been an accountant faster.
Okay.
So that is why we tailored this program to be more relevant as an RPA, so that you can become RPA quicker and faster, and also only know what need to know.
Okay.
But obviously the learning process never ends. So once you become an RPA, we have a very strong and comprehensive CPD policy where you have to continue educate yourself with the changes come with the profession as you go, but you don't have to kill yourself to get a designation for unnecessary education and courses which are not relevant. So that is the side of it.
That's really clear. So let's go back to the benefits to the RPA designation. I know that people.
Yeah, definitely. So all those viewers today, and definitely it give you the recognition, it give you the credibility that you are designated, you went through the process, and also give you the prestige that you are somebody, I'm designated, so I'm not just without any designation, and also gives you the respect in the profession as well. So your peer in the profession will look at you very respectfully that yes, you are accomplished, you have a designation, you went through the process, and also this give you a better economic opportunities. You get better pay, you get a better employment opportunity, get elevated at your job because now you have designation, and also you get to knowledge to serve not only the Colombian companies but international companies who have offices in Colombia. You will be getting a favorable response by those companies to get the employment in those companies because you have a designation now. You stand out from Colombian accountant because you are designated, you have gone through the process, and you are rapidly getting continued education, update knowledge. So companies will have more confidence on you as a designated with RPA. And on top of that, definitely you will have tremendous opportunity outside of Colombia. You can come to Canada with that designation. You can go to America with that designation. As a matter of fact, any country, when you go there and you say, I have a designated, I have accounting professional, I have designation, you will be looked differently. And I know that, as a matter of fact, many accountants from Colombia came to Canada, and too bad they're working in the warehouse, they're working in a coffee shop, working as a delivery guy, and that is a shame. Like I think that when somebody goes to the university, college, and complete their degrees and everything, and their degree doesn't get recognized in outside of Colombia, that is not fair in today's world. This is why RPA designation will give you that recognition that you can move forward. And on top of that, it also gives you the professional enhancement. That means that once becoming an RPA, you can pick the area of specialization. Accounting is a very vast profession itself. Okay, like in accounting, you can be a management accountant, you can be a financial accountant, you can be a tax accountant, you can be a forensic accountant, and so forth. There are so many areas of speciality within accounting profession. So RPA is the basic designation. So once you become an RPA, then you can pick the specialization you want to do and accelerate while you're working in the profession and take this specialization and get promoted and accelerate your career in advancement with the specialization. So that
sorry, sorry, Mr. President. One question that comes to my mind. I saw you with these kind of pictures in social media with Australia, CMA, Australia.
Exactly.
So
yeah.
you are considering you're working with them for over 10 years.
Yeah. We as a matter of fact, we just celebrated the 10th anniversary of mutual recognition between CMA Australia and RPA Canada. And we have a similar kind of mutual recognition agreement with other international bodies in different countries as well. But that thing is that because CMA Australia specializes in management accounting,
yes,
and then our plan now, which we just discussed during a recent meeting with CMA Australia, that we want to establish in-depth management accounting knowledge for RPA members.
Oh,
so once you become an RPA, and then you can take that in-depth management accounting program, and then once you complete that one, and then you are also eligible to become CMA Australia.
Oh.
So now imagine that one, if your focus is only to the management accounting, and then with RPA and CMA Australia, you can accelerate anywhere in the world with the job opportunity and promotion opportunity and better pay opportunity. So these kind of things which we are doing, because we have a mutual recognition agreement with CMA Australia as an RPA, you'll be qualified to do that one, obviously with in-depth management accounting training and education. So that is what it is.
Thank you.
Yeah. So this is also the main benefits of becoming an RPA. And now we will discuss the next point is what's the education program for RPA? You know, what makes you RPA? So basically, in Canada, a RPA program has 20 prerequisite courses. So that means you need to study 20 courses, which are very carefully selected to be most relevant to make you perfect for that job that you wanna be looking after you graduating. So those 20 courses, that I'm not saying that that's all you need, but you must take extra courses as you need fit. For example, obviously for Colombian student and graduate, language is one of the biggest concern. You need to know English language. You need to learn English language. So that means, yes, that English language is not included in 20 courses. So that means you, after that 20 courses, and during that 20 courses, you must take the advanced level language courses to have a proficiency in English language, because that is a key. Today, I just want to emphasize again to Colombian, my accountant and my friends, if you really want to accelerate, be recognized and move up, you must learn English language. And if you are not ready or not willing to learn English, then you don't need to do RPA, because then you are better off where you are, because you cannot open yourself to the world. World will only open today. Chinese are learning English, Japanese are learning English, you know, Portuguese are learning English, Indians are learning English. English is a universal language of economic prosperity. So you have to learn English to be recognized and to prosper. That's the key. And then after you complete those 20 prerequisite courses, that's where we call it the competency exam, a mandatory professional exam, which is a competency exam on the key 4 basic subject matters. That is a financial accounting, management accounting, taxation in depth. So you have a complete knowledge of tax system, and data analytics and technology.
Let me stop you there because when you say exam, everyone is scared about, oh, I have exam and I have to take exam. So how many times you run this exam? And if I fail, what happened?
Yeah, well, these exams are fixed for RPA. So every year, twice a year, in June and in November, we have these exams and they are fixed already. So they'll be never changed unless the world fall apart. So
Okay.
those exam dates are fixed so that student can plan accordingly. I know the students have their job situation, their family situation, their other concerns, so they can plan accordingly. So either they will appear on June exam or November exam, and those are fixed. And also, if you fail that exam, I think it's not fault of yours. Because I strongly believe when a student write exam, it is not just the exam he's writing or she's writing, because you go through your life situation, your family matter, your health matters, your economic situation. There's so many constraints and matters which influence your study and your examination. And don't feel bad about it if you fail. You can always rewrite. You can always rewrite and continue writing until you succeed. And I also give you kind of guidance and assurance that once you participate in our examination review session that we have for each exam, that review session is not giving you the cheat exam that what exam gonna be, but it's focusing your study, which is going to be relevant for the exam. So you don't have to study things which never gonna be asked you in the exam.
Like
so
you say from Pakistan,
right?
right?
Pakistan, exactly. So we were studying, I remember, good point you brought. When I was in Pakistan, I was studying American accounting book.
Oh.
I was studying British accounting book. I was studying, other Indian accounting book. So to find out, I don't know where the exam gonna be from. So I wanted to know everything. So that means we were open, everything was open. So that is, today I personally believe that is kind of punishing the student and graduate for making them, go crazy. So we went crazy for that, but I don't think it's necessary in today's time. Today's time is more focused and relevant and study that one. And the same thing will apply, like when you want to go to get a driving license, first you want to know how to drive a car, and then you go to the office and give the test of driving, and then the person will check your driving, how you drive, and he says, yes, you are good driver, approved.
Yes.
So the same thing applies because it's relevant to driving. He's not gonna check you how to fly a plane. You apply for driving a car. So, but we are learning how to fly a plane. So that's not relevant. So this is why we want to make sure that students have a relevant education, relevant focus, and they focus and they succeed. That's what it is. And once you pass those exams, then you have 2 years of accounting related experience and you are qualified with RPA designation.
Yes, I have a question in the participant. One mentioned again about the review session. So they essentially like you get a preparation for the exam. So can you reinforce that? I have the question of Alejandro here. He's mentioning how can you prepare for the examination? You just mentioned it, but I think maybe
exactly. So once you apply, you get approved to write a MPE exam, and then you register for a review session. These review sessions are available online, self-study. So that means you can study this review session over and over and over. So it's not a classroom that 2-hour class is finished and I miss something, you cannot go back. But here you can go back. If there's some chapter of that review session, taking time for you to understand and master, you can keep studying that one, self-study. You have full access for 1 year on those review sessions, which will give you all the tools and knowledge to prepare for examination. And another thing is also, let's say, for example, somebody registered in January, writing June exam, some reason was unsuccessful for that exam, you still have access for 1 year. So you don't have to repay the review session fee. You can go continue, open your computer again, keep studying again, and appear in November. So that is our idea is to make it easy for you. Our idea is to help you, to assist you to succeed. Our idea is, RPA's idea is not to create problem or hurdle or make it complicated or discouragement. We want to encourage you to become accountant and be successful. Yeah, so
I have another question in the audience. Saying, what is the difference between CPA and RPA in Canada?
Well, in Canada, in Canada, there's only two designations. So CPA, which is Chartered Professional Accountant, and RPA, which is a Registered Professional Accountant. So as I said, CPA is only qualified, those 18,000 in the chart you saw, only CPA qualified to become licensed public accountant.
Only them?
Only them. And we purposely, we had that opportunity, RPA, but we declined. We said we do not want to take that responsibility for our RPA member to go become a public accountant. If you want to become public accountant, then definitely you become CPA.
Okay.
You can become RPA and then you continue your study and then one day you become CPA. As a matter of fact, many CPAs in Canada are also RPA,
yes,
and many RPAs in Canada are also CPA. So it means you can have both. If you choose to become auditor as a licensed public accountant, then you have to become CPA and then obtain that certificate.
And again, you say because the RPA focuses on small, medium, businesses.
Exactly. Because we focus on small to medium-sized businesses, and as you know, there's a new guideline for compilation engagement. So RPA designation holders are qualified to perform the compilation engagement for small to medium-sized businesses and issue a compilation engagement report. So that is something, and if you become an RPA, you want to become a practitioner as an RPA, then there is a specialization and certification for that. Then you have to take a next step study and get the certificate of practice from RPA, and then you can start the practice. As a matter of fact, 50% of RPA members right now are practitioners.
Yeah.
So they are performing the services to small to medium-sized businesses for their accounting, bookkeeping, taxation, advisory services, payroll services, and so on. And now the next thing which we are also adding with the RPA is ESG. So that's a new phenomenon coming.
What is that?
You know, that's environmental, social, governance guideline procedure that obviously no, the society is moving to a different direction. We want to make a healthy community, a equitable community, and taking care of the people, taking care of the environment, and establishing a accountable and transparent government to run the organization and the corporation.
Is that would be like a specialization?
Yes, that will be, once you become an RPA, then you will take a set of courses, and after taking a set of courses, then you become certified, and then once you become certified, then you'll be able to do ESG audit, and then issue ESG audit report. So that is something which is in the pipeline right now. I know the international and public corporations already have to do ESG audit and report, but it is now next step will be SME, small to medium size businesses will also have to do, and then RPA is preparing for that, and we just having a collaboration with CM Australia, so that we can share the knowledge and expertise of two Commonwealth countries, and so we can establish a better education and certification program for ESG RPA members in Canada. So that's the other thing. So these are our, if you see on the screen, these are our 20 prerequisite courses, very carefully, responsibly established. So these are the most basic relevant courses everybody must take to become RPA. So these are prerequisite courses. Yeah, so that's give you after giving you all the information about what is RPA, how to do what it is, this is the steps that you need to take today. I will encourage all of you, and I'm just telling you very truthfully that if I was back 40 years and I am now studying in the university, I just graduated, definitely I will choose to become RPA and pursue my goal to obtain RPA designation. And the process is very simple, straightforward. Just fill up an application. You go online, we have application online, fill up our application and upload all your documentation, the transcript of your education, school, and whatever the paper required, upload and apply and pay the application fee.
Yes, I have a question from the
Yeah.
audience about this. So I think you can just explain it because it's pretty much covering this
Yeah.
slide.
Yeah.
So after you make the application, what happened? There are 4 steps that I see: assessment, ATMP, and review session.
Yeah, definitely. So once you submit the application, then that application go to the assessment team.
Yeah.
So RPA assessment team will review your application, check all the documentation, and then issue you an assessment report.
Okay.
That assessment report will tell you what next step to take. And then once you, let's say you are qualified to write MP exam, you fulfill all the requirement to write exam, then you start preparing next available exam, either June or November. But this assessment report is only valid for 60 days. So it means if you did not take any action after assessment report and 60 days are passed, then you will have to reapply, go back to apply again. Because reason why, because things are changing very rapidly. We are also changing our subjects, our examination, our technology part of it, our new guideline, accounting standards and all that. So because of that, we are in a very fast-paced changing environment. So that assessment report is only valid for 60 days.
Okay.
But if you apply for ATMPE letter, that is your authorization to write mandatory professional exam, that give you a base of your assessment report, that you need to take some courses, you need to do some other steps, and also depending on your personal situation.
So let me understand that. So the assessment report has validity for 60 days.
Yeah.
And then I have 60 days to take the next step.
Exactly.
So the next step could be the ATMP letter.
Yes, yeah. So
That the ATMP letter, what it does exactly mean?
But ATMP letter is kind of give you the assurance.
Okay.
So that you don't have to worry about any changes.
Okay.
So we will give you kind of a guarantee assurance that
For how
for
long?
18 months.
18
So the
months.
ATMP letter is for 18 months. So if a few changes happens in our system or our program or our education program, you don't have to worry about that one because you are already
I have the ATMP letter.
plan for that one and you have a letter, ATMP letter. So then you then go to the review session and appear for exam. So that is the steps to take today. And I think this is very straightforward. So once you do write exam and PE, then the 4 exam, you pass all those 4 exam. And then after that, you submit us your experience letter. And once you submit your 2-year experience letter, and then your application will then go to the board of directors for approval.
Okay.
So then whenever the next board meeting of the society is happening and your name be presented and approved, and then once that resolution in the board is passed, that is a day that know you are RPA, and then you will be issued the certificate of RPA, which you can display in your office, and then you can become an RPA and using RPA designation.
Let me stop you there.
Yeah.
Once I become an RPA, what is the obligation that a member has once you're okay, I complete, I pass my exam, I speak a letter, I approve by the board, then I finish. Now what happened next?
Yeah, very good question, So once basically it's like a military, okay?
Okay.
So once you are recruited, no, you are a member of the body. This is a governing body for accountants. No, it means once you are joined that as a member, no, you have a set of responsibility.
Okay.
That we expect you to be doing and following as a member of RPA profession. So those are definitely, you have to do minimum 20 hours of continuing professional development. That's one responsibility.
Yeah.
Number 2 responsibility, you have to follow the code of ethics, which are established by the Society of Professional Accountants of Canada. And those code of ethics are also mirrored by the International Code of Ethics. So that means when you learn the Canadian Code of Ethics from RPA, those code of ethics are applied in every other country. Okay, who follows the International Code of Ethics. And then you also have to follow your own professional code of ethics. So how you, as a professional, how we want you to deal with the public, employer, community, how you want to be representing yourself as an accountant with a designation. So these kind of responsibility to come. And then also, if there's somebody complain against you, So board, our society will process that complaint process, that why somebody is not satisfied or happy with your behavior or your services. So then you have to be respected in the society. And the most important thing is that we also expect our member to be involved in their community. So yes, no, you are professional accountant, RPA, but you must be involved in the community where you're living or where you're working. So know other people, know your surrounding, know what is happening, be nice, be kind, be helpful to your people around you and the community around you. Only then you will be respected more, because this is very important for our RPA member to be respected, that you have to do your good deeds to be respected as an RPA.
Thank you for that, Mr. President. I have another question from Luis Castaño. He's saying that is this certification has a limited duration?
No, once you're RPA,
Once an RPA, well,
so as long you're following the requirements of your responsibilities and paying your membership fee annually, and you will be in good standing of RPA, and then you can flourish with it. You can learn more about it. You can get specialization, and then you can be involved with the society as well. Because society, RPA designation society, is a non-profit body. So it means it is run by the volunteer, by the members. So you could be part of we have several committees in the organization. So you could be sitting on some of those committees and participating and learning and improving the standards and guidelines for the profession moving forward. This is the whole idea. Self-governing designation that's what it is, that member participate and then discuss and improve the way we doing things today.
I have another question,
Yeah.
very important question here from Alejandra. So when you say experience letter, you say that Canadian experience letter, it can be Colombian experience letter?
No, as long, very good question, as long you are working in accounting profession, accounting related job.
It can be in Colombia.
It could be in Colombia, yes,
Okay.
yes. So as long you work in accounting office, in accounting company doing accounting services, and then you prepare that experience letter and have verified by your employer or your superior that yes, this person did work 2 years in accounting, and then they sign it and you send it to us, that's acceptable.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So once that thing is done, so you're on the board member. No, just for information of everybody here today, RPA Canada signed a accreditation MOU with Havriana University. And I just have to say here, because when I was in Havriana University in February, I met with the student, with the professors, with the environment, with the university, the way, the discipline of the university, the activity. I was very, very impressed. Okay, I felt that Havriana University is the best university, not only in Colombia, but in the world. The why it is the best, one main reason why it's the best. I saw the kind of interactions between with the students and the professor. I don't see anywhere. I have traveled around the world, many universities, but that kind of bond between student and the professor is remarkable in Havriana University. And that is the reason why university really accelerating an education program, and very smart accounting student. I met many of them there, and I was very impressed, and I wish them to complete their accounting program in Havriana University and then become RPA, so that they can really get a better recognition in the profession and better opportunity for specialization. And we very closely working with the Havriana University. As a matter of fact, RPA program is not limited to Havriana University only. So other university graduate, other university student can also pursue RPA, but they will have to consult, get guidance from Havriana University accounting people, the staff, and
so let me stop you there. If I am from Madonna University, as you know, I'm from Colombia, you know, from Javeriana, and I want to become an RPA, what is my process then?
Well, your process is very simple. You can submit your application to us, and then we can forward that application to Havriana University for their review.
Yeah.
Because one thing you have to understand, okay, not all universities are same. there are education standard from one university to other university varies.
Yes.
Some are better focus education, some a little less, some a little more kind of just get it done. So the standards are not same. That's the reason why there's a problem in Colombia, because it doesn't matter which university you graduate, government gonna give you the certificate of license. Okay, so that is also kind of not practical, because obviously the education standards are different in each university.
Okay.
So there has to be a competency exam. So that competency exam will check everybody. Yes, they all meet, and they don't meet, and you will see if their competency exam in Colombia, some university graduate will never meet those requirements because their education standard is not that high.
Yes.
To meet that competency exam.
Yes.
So this is, we will keep that one. Yes, if there is some deficiency, which Haryana University will evaluate from other university, if there's some deficiency, they think that some courses need to be added more, or maybe done more, or maybe your result card of that subject was not as remarkable as Haryana University standard, you may have to do, but I suggest don't be discouraged because of that. Because the whole idea is to improve your knowledge, to improve the confidence that you have, the knowledge you have. And I will say, take it positively. If that's a Haryana University tells you, oh, everything's good, but you have to take these 2 more courses or redo these courses. And I think you should be happily take that one, because this is for your benefit.
Yes.
But they want you to be the best and knowledgeable, so then you can be successful in the profession. So, and also it's in the very public interest that we want to make sure that every RPA has good standard, good knowledge. So then they will represent the profession. So basically that's what it is. And you can always apply and take advantage of that. And another thing is that once you become RPA right now, you will become the member of the RPA Canada. Okay, so that means you are our responsibility. We have to make sure that you follow the rules and regulation and all the responsibility that you fulfill after becoming RPA. But the long-term goal is that this is my personal wish, that when I see Colombia, I would like to see that in next 5 years, there is a RPA Colombia. So we will assist to help. Let's say you have 300,000 accountants in Colombia. Let's say even 10% of that become RPA. So that will be 30,000. So when 30,000 Colombian accountants become RPA, then automatically we will establish an RPA Colombia body.
So let me understand something there that you mentioned, very, very important. I want to clarify. When Colombian accountants are applying for RPA, are becoming RPA Colombia, RPA Canada? How does it work?
Yeah, right now they will become RPA Canada member.
RPA Canada member.
But as I was saying, that when you more and more Colombian accountants are becoming RPA, the numbers are growing. So then it is not practical for us to be managing 10,000 or 20,000 accountants in Colombia from Canada.
Yes.
It's not practical. So then definitely we will establish RPA Colombia body. And then RPA Colombia body will be run by Colombian, managed by Colombian. Yes, RPA Canada will guide, supervise, assist in the whole process. Okay. But it will be RPA Colombia body. And then as a matter of fact, all those member accountants who will become RPA before RPA Colombia is established, so they will be automatically become founding member of RPA Colombia. So that will be another honor for all those RPA Canada member who will be founding member of RPA Colombia. That is kind of honor will be with you, that yes, we made it happen, that we established Colombian RPA body. And then that body will then establish their own rules, and maybe they'll decide that we want to also have a Spanish education, Spanish laws, Spanish guideline, everything. That's good for them. But obviously, to be international, we encourage you to know English, but it's always good. But if you decide locally that we just want to keep Spanish for local country in Colombia, then that society can decide. then go back to Spanish. But until that time, we strongly encourage you to learn English and become English-speaking RPA.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Yeah.
So thank you. That's pretty much all. It's a lot of information to digest. Es mucha información para digerir el día de hoy. Si ustedes tienen alguna otra pregunta, you have any other questions that you want to just point it out, you want any other doubts or that you don't want to discuss with Mr. President now, this is the moment to raise your hand, or if everything is good. I will wait for 2 minutes if you see any other questions in the chat, in the Q&A, please.
Yeah, I think this session you're regarding.
Yes.
So must be then you can put that one on your website or your YouTube channel. Then all those who could not make it today, they can always access and watch that one. And after watching all that, and the one who was just attending today, anytime you have any question, don't be shy and don't be hesitant. Feel free to send us your email, send us your message, and we will definitely be there to answer your question and help you to succeed.
Well, thank you, Mr. President, for this fantastic presentation. I want to thank you all. Gracias a todos por esta sesión. Nos veremos muy pronto. No olviden que nos pueden escribir. Si desean escribir en español, me pueden escribir a mí, Alejandro Vélez, a este correo, info@rpacanada.org. No tienen que ser penosos, me pueden escribir. Yo les ayudo en español, no hay problema. Or if you want to, also we can go to our website, rpacanada.org. I have a question here. Someone say something there. Someone say here in the chat that if I'm a public accountant with 9 years of experience as a financial management, I expect to have master on data analytics on Canada next year. Is it available to get the RPA as pathway? It's a data analytics pathway.
Definitely. If you are already public accountant from Colombia, and then you also want to learn more about data analytics, that is the future of accounting. That's why it is an important subject for us. And just give you a little information about that in 2021, when we were reforming our designation, at that time came across to us that we have to have a data analytics course. So there was no data analysis course anywhere in the university in the world. And then we reached the Canadian universities and colleges to establish this data analytics course for accountant, and our RPA student and member can benefit. They could not establish it because of bureaucratic system. For the university, it took them 2 years to establish the program.
Yeah.
But I said we cannot wait 2 years. We hired our own talent people, and then they developed the whole course for us, which was an excellent course for data analytics for accountant. But data analytics is very vast field.
Yeah.
You could be using data analytics for church or to the government or to the movie theater or to anything. Yeah. But our objective is to data analytics for accountant, which will give you the accounting information analysis for the data of the entity or corporation. And then we established that program, well received, people loved it, and they're going on. So while we were going on 2-year finish, and then we found out that now there's a new technology, data analytics with AI. So that means all that course is now obsolete because it's not matching up the new technology. So we had to develop a new data analysis with AI. We quickly, asked those consultants for us to prepare this course for us, and then we prepared that one and we launched it. So this is what I'm saying. Because of time now, things are changing very fast. So you will see that courses you have taken like 5 years ago or today, next 5 years, they will be old and not good for you. You will have to continue studying those courses and technology. And data analytics is going to be the best tool for RPA. They can specialize in data analytics. And data analytics will also help RPA members on ESG. But ESG reporting is also based on analysis of what are you doing for environment, what are you doing for the society, what are you doing for your transparency and governance.
And now, I saw just to finish this, I saw like the other day in one of the publication or social media, you mentioned for RPA education never ends.
Yeah,
so that is pretty much the motto.
Exactly.
Oh.
Yeah, for RPA, education never ends. And then we also strongly believe that to succeed, you have to learn unlearn and relearn. See, whatever you learned yesterday is not good for that. You have to unlearn it, erase from your memory, and learn the new thing, the new way of doing things, the new technology, new knowledge. So this is the thing. Moving forward, somebody say, I got my university degree and that's enough for me for life. That's not true. Yes, the university degree is good for you to give you the basic knowledge, but then once you become a professional in the practical life, you have to continue learning.
Thank you, Mr. President, for this session. I want to thank you all for coming in today. Don't forget to write us to info@rpacanada.org and www.rpacanada.org. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Thank you.